Hi, I'm Jeff Cohn, founder of Elite Real Estate Systems, today's team coaching solution. We're excited to invite you to our 2022 Team Building Summit, hosted by Elite Real Estate Systems and our industry partners. Join us in downtown Omaha, Nebraska from June 1st through June 3rd, 2022, and hear from high-level team leaders, broker owners, industry experts, and thought leaders from across the country. Learn from their business methodologies that made them dominant powerhouses. Learn more about this content-filled two-day event at theteambuildingsummit.com. Use discount code TBS22 for $100 off your ticket purchase. See you in June.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Jeff Cohn here with another episode of the Team Building Podcast, where we interview top team leaders, broker owners, and thought leaders from across the country. Today, I have a very special guest in Mr. Dan McGauley. He is with OneSource Solutions. They are a vendor spotlight coming up and physically attending and speaking at the Team Building Summit, which is June 1st through the 3rd. I'm sure a lot of you have heard me talk about this, but for your $100 off ticket, just go out to the teambuildingsummit.com and make sure at the very top when you're checking out, you put the word podcast, because that's where you heard about the discount. And we'll take $100 off your ticket purchase, which makes it $297. It's an amazing event. You don't want to miss out. It's one of a kind. It's once a year. We expect a couple hundred people in attendance, and we have a ton of VIPs like Mr. Dan, who will be in attendance, including Brian Charlesworth, who is the owner and founder of Sisu, the owner and founder of Rockerbox, Mr. Josh Cunningham. We've got Matt Johnson, the author of Micro Famous, and he owns and runs Pursuing Results, which is the company that pushes our podcast out, and many other great people that are good friends of mine that are going to be able to rock the house, melt faces, crush it, all of the stupid words that people choose to use, but it will be epic. It will change lives. So if you haven't bought your ticket, go check it out. Would love to hang out with you in Omaha, Nebraska, June 1st through the 3rd, and see you here. All right, Dan, let's get into it. Let's just start off. Talk to us a little bit about your past and what brought you to OneSource.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jeff, thank you again for having us here. We are very excited for the Team Building Summit. This will be our first year attending, so we're looking forward to it. And again, thank you for allowing us for the opportunity to be there.
Of course.
So my backstory here. Honestly, I was a bartender and worked in restaurants for a long time. I went to school and got my degree in business admin, and I wanted to get into sales. And so for 3 years prior to OneSource, I was working at our sister company. And OneSource, my VP, Kimberly Kellerman, she was heading out to a big convention in Southern California, and she wanted some help and asked me to attend. And so when I went out with her, I kind of just found that I had this huge passion for what we do here. And she saw it in me, and I felt it, something that I haven't felt before. I'm like, I like what I'm doing here. I love what I'm offering to people. I see the value. The realtors were loving it. And so when I got back to St. Louis, I'm like, I would like the opportunity if I could, jump ship and come over here and, do the business development. And so that's what happened. Going on my 3rd year here, 6 years total as of yesterday with the company. And so that's kind of what brought me to OneSource. It was just the passion that I knew that I was providing a very valuable service to anybody who's out there in the homeowner process. There's a lot of moving pieces there. And So I just kind of felt that passion right away that this was something that I like.
Dude, I'm so excited to talk to our listeners about OneSource. And as I've always communicated at events and on this podcast, I'm not a sellout. And what I mean by that, of course, I hope my events sell out. But if an event ever does sell out, it's because you don't have a large enough event center. So none of our events should sell out. But the thing, what I mean when I say it is, we don't ever promote a product we haven't used for at least 12 months and proven the concept. We don't promote an ancillary business, a coaching company, an event we host, a real estate company we think you should join, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, unless we actually did it. And that's a true sign of a leader. Serve your followers, give them the ability to be just like you, and first and foremost, know who you are. And so the thing so brilliant about OneSource is that it is the ultimate win. Everybody wins. And it reminds me of a story that our listeners may find interesting. Last week, I was out riding dirt bikes in Moab. I'm actually rocking my White Sands National Park shirt today, which was a separate road trip we went on recently. But we're out in Moab and it's Jeep Week. We didn't know it when we booked that we were going to be there during Jeep Week. And if you've ever been there during Jeep Week, there's like thousands and thousands of souped up Jeeps. It's pretty cool. Well, the company Jeep was there, and they had 30 brand new electric Jeeps that they were going to allow people to drive for free. And so you got to sign up and walk over and drive a Jeep for about an hour through a slick rock course that they had created. That was pretty aggressive, I thought, for letting people just go and check it out. My point is, everyone that was like, hey, how much does this cost? Or what do we have to do to get to test out these Jeeps? And Jeeps sitting there like, no, it doesn't cost anything. Just come drive our Jeeps. Of course, they know that it eventually, like I'm talking about this now on a podcast. They didn't pay for me to talk about that. I get no kickback for bringing it up. And now I just shared with the world that Jeep has an electric version, and it's pretty cool. And why did they do that? So OneSource, for me, when I heard about it, it was a fascinating idea because we were getting ready to bring concierge services in-house. And so as we unfold or unveil for our listeners today, everything that OneSource has to offer, I'll let Dan do that because he's going to do it much better than I can. But I'm going to ask him some of the challenging questions. And the first one I would say is, why wouldn't I do concierge services myself? Why would I use a third party? And so that's the big reason Dan's here. OneSource is the OneSource solution to assisting or facilitating the home buyer and or seller in moving from home A to home B. And they do that in a lot of really unique ways. So the first thing I'll ask Dan for fun is, why would I want to go to a third party if I could just build this myself?
That's a great question. And I'll speak candid to that, Jeff. I think a lot of companies out there, they want to try to do it in-house. But the amount that it takes for, a company to really be able to offer that white glove service to their clients, I think people get a little in over their heads and they realize this isn't as easy as you would think it would be. Our company's been around for 16 years, 15 years, and we've built so many relationships along the way as a company. And I mean, why try to build something that somebody else out there has already created, the wheel that works perfect? And like you said, you want to test it out that can do it and that like and trust that's going to take care of your clients for you.
100%. I love it. So obviously, everyone listening, you have a company you probably refer your clients to for home inspection. You might not own your own. You might own one. I don't know. You have a company you recommend, obviously, for mortgage and title and insurance and home warranty. Those are like the top 5. And then you got your landscaping company and your snow removal if you're in a city that snows, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. OneSource is none of those things. OneSource is the company that comes in and they call your client once they go under contract, and they are the concierge arm to make the move as simple as possible. And so, Dan, correct me if I'm overstepping any truths, but what I believe they do is they do an intake call and they let the consumer know that they have been hired or partnered with the agent that the consumer used to assist them and facilitate the process of transferring their utilities from home A to home B. And those utilities can include, but are not limited to, cable, internet, security, gas, electric, water, trash pickup. What did I miss? I know there's probably more.
That's it. And us as a company, we're always adding other ancillary services such as solar, moving services for clients and other things like that. But yeah, you pretty much nailed all of them. They're gas, water, electric, sewer, trash, which are like the main big.
So how long does that take? Like, as my listeners hear this, and like, okay, so what? Like, that's not a big deal. How long do you think that would take when a person, especially if they're moving from city to city, now they have to jump down this rabbit hole, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question too. And that's like one of our big things we tell people. I don't think a lot of homeowners realize it. It may sound, oh, that's easy, I can do it myself. But once you start getting into the weeds of it, you're spending anywhere between 5-7+ hours doing this on yourself. You're researching the provider, you're calling, you're sitting on hold, you're going through auto attendance. We eliminate all of that for the clients.
So I'm using Dish. I have Dish and I have ADT and I have XYZ other services. And I know I already want those. Those might be easier to transfer, but I have no idea in Scottsdale, in the neighborhood I'm going to, who does the trash pickup? Who do I need to call to get my water hooked up? Who do I need to call to get electrical? Who do I need to call for the solar panel option? I have no idea. I would have to Google that or ask the seller, Absolutely. Ask the agent, or ask a friend. And so tell me what OneSource will do.
So that's a good point. So even if the new homeowner, right, has their Dish or their AT&T already and they want to stick with that, well, that's the other cool thing about OneSource is that we can always get the client new customer pricing. So instead of them being locked in at their $85 a month for AT&T, well, we can get them set up at the new place for that new entry level pricing again.
Interesting. So OneSource can renegotiate their contract, put them into a better price in their new location than what they had already when they probably did it themselves. Exactly. And because OneSource sells at mass and you guys are in the thousands, if not tens of thousands of clients, you can obviously pre-negotiate with these big companies across the country to get your clients better rates.
Absolutely. We always are getting offers that a lot of companies, even that their corporate doesn't even offer out to the public, that we get exclusive pricings for whatever it may be, whether it's AT&T or ADT or Vivint Home Security.
Okay. All right. Here's the big drum roll and the unveil. This is what blew my mind. I didn't believe it. I had to see it. I had to test it. How much would it cost me as an agent or my brokerage of hundreds of agents to use OneSource Solutions for my clients?
That's the best question, Jeff. It's completely free. So there is absolutely no cost.
It's free. No cost. Okay. So then you must be charging my client something on the back end. How much does my client have to pay to get the concierge services from you guys?
Your client doesn't have to pay either.
Okay. So it's free to the brokerage and we get to offer this amazing service to our client. And the client doesn't have to pay for it. But of course, OneSource has to spend a lot of time and energy doing all of this. So how does OneSource win?
That's a great question too, Jeff. So we are an authorized retailer for all of the providers nationwide, whether they are the national name brands like you've mentioned so far, AT&T and DirecTV and Dish and things like that, but even down to local providers that we're still able to offer to your clients. What happens is they pay us a referral fee as a retailer for their company. And then that's how we're able to provide this free service to the brokerages, to the agents, and also to the new home buyers.
So would the new home buyer be able to get a better deal if they did this themselves? Would that referral or that bonus that you guys get paid, would that have gone to them had they not used OneSource?
No, absolutely not.
So
no,
that's built in because you're a retailer of these products. You've negotiated a special deal, but the client's not losing anything. They're gaining all the service. But here is the final, and Dana, I don't know what your sound effect's going to be for this. Dana's my producer, by the way. Here is the final unveil. This was the part where we were like, what is happening right now? And I don't mean to ham it up. I don't do this very often with vendors, but this one's cool because I loved the concierge idea. I loved that the client didn't have to worry about it. I loved that somebody else jumped in. I loved that you guys got paid to do that. So it's a win for you. But why don't I'll let you take the thunder here, Dan. Not only is it free for me as the agent and free for the brokerage, we also get to make money.
That's right.
It's a win-win because we're obviously working with you and spending time building a relationship with you and figuring out the best point in which you can reach out to our clients and sharing our database and all this stuff. So you in turn are able to, I don't know what the right words are because we're in a strategic partnership. I don't know what that looks like legally, but share with the listeners what opportunities there are for them. If they're a broker owner or a team leader of hundreds of transactions a year, and I just now said they can actually make money. What does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. And so we have a referral, a kickback, or however you want to call that, a referral that we give back to our partners for all of the ancillary services that any of their new home buyers are going to get set up. Like I said, we get paid from the providers and then we share that revenue back to the companies. And, I'll speak very freely here as well that, we have some companies that make a few thousand to a couple tens of $1,000s every single month, increasing their bottom dollar by offering a free service that costs them absolutely nothing. But also, most importantly, is just providing that great service to their clients and saving them the time that, hey, you're getting this for going through us. And we, this is a thank you.
I love it. And I will say anything and everything we talk about on the podcast. This is a quick little side note, small print. I'll do it really fast like micro machines. Always make sure it's legal, ethical, check with your real estate commission, check with your real estate brokerage, check with your state, check with your attorney, check with your significant other. We don't know for sure everything and anything we do is legal. We do know it's all ethical and moral. But I will say for us personally, we have disclosures. We disclose. So anyone that's ever used the OneSource product, we've included them in our affiliated business arrangement disclosure. They know that we will get paid back a percentage based on what services they choose to use. They're okay with that. They're getting the service for free. They don't care. But we do disclose that to our clients. And I'm not saying everyone else has to do that. Like I said, check and make sure all your ducks are in a row, all your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed, so that you don't get into legal problems.
And like you said, I think it's, what client's going to be upset about it, right? You just provided them a free service that's taking a load off of their plate. And it's saving the agents just countless time. Agents are having to, provide some type of list to their clients. And, but most importantly, I can't imagine your clients are going to be upset that, hey,
right,
you just got provided this,
Yep.
There's got to be an incentive for someone.
So let's spend the rest of this podcast talking about what other services, and this doesn't necessarily think OneSource needs to start offering, but let's say you have somebody on the call right now listening and they're like, you know what, that's neat that they do they transfer that, but wouldn't it be cool if they did X, Y, Z? And you're thinking a little bit further along. And so maybe we could do some back and forth, Dan, of other ideas of things that you guys have considered. So one of which I would think of is when you move into a new city, if you're relocating to a new city, you literally have no contacts. Like you might want to get a new accounting company. You might need an attorney for some stuff. You might need, and the list goes on and on and on. And I think it would be cool if OneSource hasn't already done this, but have what you could maybe call OneSource verified, OneSource validated, or something like that, where Google actually does this, the Google verified off with agents and a lot of other professions.
Yeah.
But it'd be neat to have a list so that if I move to Scottsdale and I'm needing a dentist, I can go into OneSource list of preferred dentists that you guys have already verified. And then of course, OneSource might have some type of a deal with those dentists and be able to pay, a referral fee back to the entity that sent that client initially. But you could go down this rabbit hole forever about like, what would the more and more that we could give? So what else have you guys considered adding?
Yeah, so that's a great thing you bring that up. So one thing that we do allow for our partners is that if they have preferred providers in their area that, they're working with, that they want us to be offering to their clients, we can do that. So OneSource does, and we are launching some cool things I'd like to kind of touch on and throw a shout out, is that we have our new proprietary affiliate app that's going to be coming live soon, and also our new website. And so what's going to happen on there for the agents and brokers or companies is that they can go on and either provide their own providers that they have and preferred, or also we will be building out a platform that will give them access to, and not limited to, but roofers and contractors and schooling and things like that to help them. And also with that being built into the app, we will be branding that agent still too. So if the clients 2 years down the road are needing that assistance, they can go back into the app and see, Jeff Cohn's face is going to be plastered on that app form, Brandon Jeff Cohn, so that you're going to be the person that they're going to think about when they go and buy another house.
I love it. And I know, Dan, you and I have talked offline a little bit about ancillary businesses. We have a lot of people that listen to the podcast that have some type of a joint venture or vendor relationship and or ownership in some ancillary businesses. And I love the idea after point of sale, if they have that spot they can go to go find the dentist idea. Well, what if you had a mortgage arm there that you could send someone to go get a refi? What if you had a home and auto insurance every year that we could remind them, hey, you need to re-up or recheck, make sure you have the best rate on your home and auto insurance. And that list can go on and on too. So I think that's neat
absolutely.
That you guys offer that customization per location, dependent upon who your partners are working with, and you'll help push those products as well. So awesome podcast, really cool service. It's one that we currently use in all of our offices. We have 150 agents using it across Nebraska. I know you guys have arms all over the United States. So if you want more information about OneSource, you can go out to www.onesourcesolutions.com. And Dan, if someone wants to get in touch with you directly, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Yeah, feel free to call. You can contact me at dan.mcgauley at osconnects.com. And also feel free to give me a call at 314-359-5897. I'm happy to chat. we're here, we're nationwide. So no matter where you are, we're able to assist your clients. It doesn't matter whether you're up in Alaska or you're down in Hawaii. We're able to assist your clients all over the U.S.
And if you are in Alaska, I'll be there in 3 weeks. I'm going to be fishing for king salmon. And if you're in Hawaii, I'll be there this fall. I'm going to be going for Christmas. So would love to see you agents in those areas. If anyone ever wants to hit me up and do some masterminding, or you want me to come speak at an event, feel free to reach out to me. I don't say this often, but it's in the show notes. You can always follow me on my Instagram at Jeff M. Cohn, JEFFM as in Mark COHN. You can also DM me there. And then the last thing is, please go out if you haven't already. And even if you think you have, go again. Wherever you listen to the podcast or watch it on YouTube, would you please go give us a 5-star rating and make a comment about the person we brought on that helped change your life, or an episode that changed your life, or maybe you just found us and you think it's cool. Just say something, because it helps feed the algorithm so more people can find it. I just got our numbers recently. We're up to over 5,000 listeners per episode, which is amazing for such a niche market. Be it that we've been serving teams, people wanting to scale, typically residential real estate sales teams. But over the next couple of months, for those listening, we're transitioning into more of a training arm for people building teams in all of the different industries surrounding residential real estate. So it would be a OneSource team. It would be a mortgage team, a title team, an insurance team, a real estate team, a real estate brokerage. And that is where we're putting all of our time and attention, because we know that is the future of the industry. You're not going to survive just off of a real estate commission. You have to create multipliers in your business based on other revenue streams that run parallel to our industry. So be thinking about that, be looking into that more and more. Those start with vendor relationships that turn into strategic partnerships, that turn into joint ventures, that turn into you launching your own venture if you want to. And so I love speaking to that. A lot of you've already heard me talk about it, but we're going to be talking more and more on that topic. And with that, I'll invite everyone again, come check out. Dan's going to be speaking, as well as all of our other sponsors and keynotes and ERS spotlight clients at our upcoming event, the Team Building Summit. The whole focus of that event is to help people be prepared to pivot for the next 10 years of the things that are coming to our industry. And we have a strong belief commission is going to get suppressed. We're already seeing it. I just saw numbers come out. I'm not going to say the numbers, but saw numbers come out of one of my competitors, and it was scary. And Dana, 3 sound effects today. I love it. So we want to make sure people are prepared. And I feel a huge responsibility on my shoulders as the host of this podcast, that I'm talking about these things, because I don't want something to just pop up, something I actually know is coming and I've never said a word about it. So all the things I'm doing are going to typically be the things that I talk about. And no, I'm not going to get all of it right, but I've done pretty well up to this point and for the last 5 years of my guesses. And I continue to make guesses, and some might be wrong, and I'm going to come on and tell you when they're wrong. But right now I'm feeling pretty good about, if you have ownership in a mortgage, title, insurance, investing arm, I don't know that you're going to be losing any money on that. So if I'm wrong about commission suppression, I'm going to be really excited, because I own a real estate company with 150 agents that are going to get to make tons of money off the real estate commission. Awesome. But now we get to make money off all the other stuff too. So for people that hear that all and it's like, oh, that's noise and friction, I don't want to have to change. That's fine. The cheese is going to go away. It's still there. There's still little fat rats chewing on the bottom of the cheese, getting their 5-6%. But cheese is going to go. And so when it goes, not if it goes, when it goes, your value is your database. And the value is in your ability to create a relationship of trust with your database. And then the other things you can offer to them. And that's the whole idea behind OneSource. It's all these extra things we're offering to them. So what more outside of OneSource? What more outside of going on a listing presentation or helping someone buy a house or invest in a house? What more can we offer? That should be what everyone's thinking about. And everyone's going to go a different direction with that. And that's great. My goal is to help people think about it. Appreciate you coming on, Dan. Great episode. OneSource is awesome. We love it. We love working with you. You did a great job today. I know you weren't sure and you wanted to know what questions we were going to ask. And I didn't know. I asked questions on the spot. So a lot of people think that.
Well, thank you, Jeff.
You did awesome.
We're looking forward to the ERC. We're looking forward to the Team Building Summit. Looking forward to seeing everybody there.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to everyone buying lots of tickets. Go out to the teambuildingsummit.com to buy yours now. Get $100 off, put in podcast at the top when you check out. Thanks again, Dan. Have a good one.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. Take care.